Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Women of Color in Intimate Conversation. Okay, so I know you see right now that the person that's on the screen with me is not a woman of color, which is okay because we let the brothers participate every now and then. And so this is my very third male guest. So I am excited to have Obong Priesto. He is a founder of the Plight Messengers. He's a freedom activist, a top liner, versatile, multi-genre, dub plate, jingles, musician. So Obong Priesto, welcome to Women of Color and Intimate Conversation. You're not
All
just
right.
making music, you're shaping history. If
All
listeners
right.
take, yeah, if listeners take away just one thing about you today, what should it be?
I think first of all, it should be my freedom, my time. Can you
Okay,
get me? My time.
tell us more.
So, I love doing creating songs, I like doing music, having my precious time to compose, to write songs, meaningful songs. So I think one thing that will lack me not to be meaningful with my craft is time.
And you know what? That makes sense because time is something we can't get back. So if we're not using it wisely, if we're not getting the most out of our time, then some we're kind of wasting it. So okay, I can dig that. Your time.
Yeah, you're right.
So your birth name is Famous Endurance Friday, but you go by
Yeah.
Obon Priesto as an artist. What's the
Okay.
meaning behind that name? Why did you choose it?
Do you mean what's the meaning of endurance famous or Obong Priesto? Which one are you talking about? Like,
Oh,
is it the Obong
you
Priesto?
can give it to us both, right?
Okay. My birth name is Famous Endurance Friday. That's what I was called. Like I was given birth to. That's the name my parents give birth to me. So Obong Priesto simplify a culture name, and Obong is a kind of a nickname in my music career. Okay. It's kind of a artistic name. Okay. So it simplify Obong means king. Okay.
King. Okay.
Yeah, if I king. Yeah, I'm a king in my lineage. Yeah. So Priesto. I know priest, like priest. You have the Catholic priest. I
Yes.
have. So I'm a messenger. So I'm Priesto. Then you now have it too. Like you have it O at the end. Like Priesto, like kind of a nick style name. So priest, like a servant of Almighty, a messenger.
Okay. And so that pretty much speaks to, your activism, your music, all of that.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in a first state. I grew up in a country that we feel cheated as an internal region part where I come from. So, we are not Nigeria before. So if you check out the history, the um the biography of Nigeria today, you know when Nigeria was created. So there's a country that was formerly called Biafra. Okay, so before the Third World War and before the independent day of Nigeria, the day we created Nigeria. So before this time, we have our own nation, we have our own nationalities. So if you watch, when you have a cat and a dog, you can't put them together because they'll be fighting. So the way we reason and the way we understand things, it means a lot. So in terms of my activities, so I see it as we are being cheated and humanity is being suffering a daily basis. So I had to, come up to speak for them and speak my heart. I felt a lot. My even if I should know I should be known in worldwide, like be popular. I cannot feed everybody, but I can speak for them. The
Mhm.
government can take control about it. Understand me? So that is it. So that's why
Yeah.
my activists just going like that, moving in different steps. So I mean, just for humanitarian and also for freedom. I love freedom. When you have freedom, you feel happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for those who are watching or listening, famous Obong, he is in Nigeria, and he's from Akwa Ibom State.
Yeah.
And so he just talked about how where he's from. is definitely why he, has shaped him into doing the things that he's doing. The music, his activism is how he's influenced. And as he's even said, he can't do everything for everybody. However, he can speak, right? And so he's speaking through his music and the different things that he's doing. So for someone who's discovering your music for the first time, which song should they start with and why?
Okay. If you want to start with my song, I think I have reggae songs. My people know me as reggae artist, but I start doing other gen based on music composition in terms of film commercial stuff. So I have a song titled Redemption Song, but it's not out yet. It haven't been distributed yet, but I believe this year it will be distributed. So I will say they should go with Matter Arise. But for now, since the song is not out, the only song that is out is other genre of song like Afro, Amapiano. So if they want to listen first of my song, they should go with Dreams Come True. Yeah, Dreams Come True. It's an Afro song. Yeah, Dreams Come True. So they should go with that first. They will see some message about it, giving hope and future for everyone.
Oh, we definitely need that right now. And so anytime I hear anyone talking about dreams, I'm definitely interested because I coach women and empower women to live a dream lifestyle. So Dreams Come True is the song that we should look for of Obong Priesto, and check that out and get to know him through his music. So every artist has that defining moment when they realize music isn't just a passion, it's their purpose, right? We're talking about purposes, passions, and dreams. When did you know that music was your calling? Was there a specific moment that changed everything for you?
Okay, that's amazing question. Thank you a lot. I love this one. Honestly, from my kid, from 12 years, I've been drumming. I'm a professional drum. I also drum too. That's
Okay.
where my career started. Yeah, when I was a kid, according to my parents, they say, um, I love to be at the band side, like the band group side in the church. Okay, I love to go to that band side. I will sit down. I'll be watching what they're doing. I love songs from my kid, according to my parents. When your parents can tell you more about your history. Okay, so at the age of 6, I was nearing them, like when they are doing church service. I go there and sit down. I'll be watching what they're doing. So when the church have not, maybe at the end of the church, I can just go and climb the drum and start playing, hitting the drum in different style. Then I'm just capturing something, my mindset. So that's how it started. Then along the way, from my 15 years, I start having something inside of me saying that you can sing, you have the voice, you have the core. I was like, I don't have the voice yet because I've not developed it yet, but it's inside me. But I have something, even right now, I still have something is telling me that I'm gonna be a popular. It's not about motivation, but something within me is telling me that I'm gonna hit up to the star. I'm gonna hit up to my expectation. I'm gonna be popular someday. So I'm not just saying it to be bragging, but I have something is zeal. It's within me. So that is how I started. Then from my 20 years, before then, I am my 15 years, I started going for local shows to play in the drum. I go for wedding, reception. I play a lot of ceremonies. So after then, I left the church because of my calling. And I know my calling wasn't in the church anymore. It was a priest, a kind of a traditional priest. That was my calling diverted me to. So I stopped, but it not stop me to bring hate on any belief. I respect everyone's beliefs. I respect everyone's religion, but I always speak the truth, and the truth is always hot. So that is it. So I start, going to places, you know, talking about freedom things, talking about stuff. So when and I have the call to start singing, the spirit, or should I say the spirituals, let's say the ancestors, like start nurturing my voice, starts nurturing me about something inside of me. So I started now reasoning it. So I started doing the practical. So because although I've already engaged myself on something else, like in terms of the band group, I've been there for decades. Do you understand? So I started, walking along the way about that dream to come to manifest. So it was 2020. That's when I go to studio first in my life, to be in the studio to do a song called Crisis, Sun Arise, Matters Arise. A lot of them it was about 6 tracks. That's EP. EP then, yes, it was not album, it was EP. So I distributed it, but the company that distributed it got crashed. So I got to look for another one. I stayed full 1 year without distributing the song again. So it was last like see, I start to distribute other genre of song. So I'm planning to distribute it completely as an album, at least 10 to 15 tracks. So that is how my calling started. So that is how everything went.
Yeah, and so, as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking how a lot of times we do know what it is that we're purpose for at a young age, right? You mentioned 6. And so to have family or friends or people around you who nurture that is a beautiful thing. And so
Yeah.
for those, again, those that are watching and listening, pay attention to kids that you're around. If they seem like they're passionate about something, help them to tap into that. You never know where it will lead you. It could lead you to where it's led famous. And so reggae, which surprised me because when I hear reggae, I think of Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
But it's at the heart of your sound. But you've also expanded into TV, film, and media. How do you stay versatile while keeping your authenticity as an artist?
Wow, that is amazing. I keep my I keep myself in terms of learning more and developing a lot of skills within me, and I keep moving in terms of the line which I found myself, because number one, for you to be a great artist, you have to know how to write a good song, not just writing multitude of songs or like quantity, but writing meaningful songs. So I start seeing myself when I got to know a man from Philippines. He's from Philippines. He's into sync licensing, like using your songs on the TV shows, commercial shows, like on the films, advertisement. So he started telling me that reggae songs is hardly placed. They hardly place reggae song. That is how I diverted. It's not like I left the reggae. I'm still on, but I start seeing myself doing other genre of songs. Very good. I start developing it. Doing a lot of songs. So that is how it's now figure out. So that is how it come about. So I keep moving. I
Yeah.
keep moving. Even I can also do pop. Like pop, I found myself doing pop too. I have some pop song. I've not released it yet. So that is it.
Yeah, and so you mentioned learning, and so like for me, I'm also heavily involved in art. So I'm on an art journey as a curator and whatnot. And so I'm in my build, connect, and learn phase. So what you said about learning, developing, growing, I mean, that is so key with anything that you're doing. You have to
Yeah.
always be a learner, right? In order to get better and even, to perfect your craft and also to possibly pivot and move into some other things. Learning is absolutely key.
All right.
So
That's cool.
what would you say is the biggest personal sacrifice that you've made in pursuit of your music career?
Come again.
So any sacrifices you've made in your while you're pursuing your career, what would be the biggest
Okay.
one?
Wow. Number one, you know, having a good songs out there is not easy. Yeah, I had some cool cash then. I wanted to use it to do some stuff myself, but I got to, based on the passion towards music, I don't have to divert the cash. I used to go to the studio to promote the song. So based on, I was thinking that's me doing the songs because I don't have the knowledge yet. I don't have the music business knowledge yet. Then I was
Mhm.
thinking, well, once I just release the song, people will dive into it. All these marketing strategies of a thing, like have Spotify, Boomplay, and the rest of it. So I don't have the idea that once you release a song, you have to master, you have to promote it. So I was just thinking that once you do the song, then people will start liking it, they sell your CDs. So I don't know that the marketing plan and everything has changed. The music business have changed totally. So it's very, very saturated. So I was like, overwhelmed. So I sacrificed a lot on that. And also sometimes as I was founding myself into a film like a sync licensing placement. So I was like, you know, bringing my time to learn more, because when I see that there is much money when you have a song that's being placed on a film or TV shows or on an advertisement, you understand me? So I see there's a lot of money on it. So I start giving myself more developing. I start giving myself more time to learn and understand. So,
Mhm.
and they will say they need a song for a so sing. They want to use this song for so sing. Along the line, after figuring out those things, you do the song. They'll say, "Hey, your song is good, but it couldn't meet up the time. The time is dead. Like is dead. The deadline is over, so it couldn't meet up. So I spent a lot of money then, but
Mhm.
for now, life is stage by stage, gradual by gradual. So I invest a lot on myself then. But when I was not having the right information, till I start learning more about the music business, how it works.
Yeah, and you know what? And so that goes back to what we were just talking about as far as learning. You know, people want to jump into things, and I'm one of those people. And that's fine if that's what you do, because I do believe in building as you fly, right? Building the plane as you fly. However, there is definitely value, benefit, and a time saver, because you talked about time earlier, when you do take the time to learn before you go ahead and launch, let's say, a song, launch a podcast, whatever it is you're doing. I definitely highly recommend that you take some time learning about it, because it will save time, it will save energy, frustrations, right? And definitely money. So I'm all about taking the time to learn. And if you are one of those ones who kind of like, because some of us, it's our destiny to go ahead and to do the
Yeah,
thing and then tell people what we learned from that thing, right? So we're going out before everybody else, so we can come and kind of tell them, well, this is what I did, and this is what worked, this is what didn't work. So that testimony type thing. So there are people who that's their destiny, and that's fine. But if you can take the time to learn, because either way, you're still going to, learn, right? You're going to learn one
yeah.
way
You
or the
learn
other.
every day. You learn every day, every day. New
Right.
insights, you learn every day. Yeah,
So thinking
yeah.
about your music, what could you sum up as the core message of your music? Like if you have one sentence to describe your music, how would you describe it?
My music speak mostly motivation and freedom. Mostly African continent, but totally for everyone, but mostly African continent. They were suffering a lot.
Mm.
Mostly, I'm just a messenger. I speak motivation. I speak dignity. I speak you know speak freedom. Mostly freedom. So I'm not good on entertaining like that. I'm not that good on entertaining, but I speak the message. I speak more message than even listen to my motherland and what do you call it, dreams come true, fusion power. A lot of them out there that have been releasing. So you can see a lot of message on the lyrics. So that is it.
Yeah, and that's kind of like for me, I created this podcast to give women of color a platform to use their voices. Right. So that's
Yeah.
so that's why it made sense for you to even be on
Almighty will
here.
bless you. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Almighty will bless
there's
you.
that synergy.
Yeah. That's an amazing one.
So My Motherland sounds like an anthem. Is this your love letter to Africa?
You said?
Your song, My Motherland?
Okay, yeah, it's a song, motivation. Yeah, you come into my motherland, feel exercising, feel good, let's embrace ourselves, let's come close. Like, it speaks a lot. It's just about love,
Hmm.
you know? So that is it.
And so love to who? Is it your love letter to Africa? Is it love of someone
Yeah,
else, love of
not,
self?
not, not, not not just Africa, but just a motherland as a no mother earth, like motherland,
Mm.
to all motherland, continent, different countries, like motherland. So that is it. It's not just particular in just it doesn't just based on Africa only, but just motherland generally. No,
Okay.
the earth is motherland.
Okay. And so the motherland, different continents, what do you
Yeah.
want the world to feel when they hear these songs?
Wow. What did I do? What?
When,
Come
so
again.
I'm sorry.
I did not hear you very clear.
Yeah, so you just mentioned that it is a love letter to motherland, to different continents. So when we're
Yeah.
listening to your music, what do you want us to feel from your songs?
I want you guys to feel good, feel love, no discrimination, no racism. Feel good. Let's embrace our roots. Let's embrace who we are. Let's come together. Let's love. Like that's the message.
Yeah. So love, feeling good, no
Yeah.
discrimination. That's beautiful. I mean, we definitely need that right now, right? So can't wait for your songs to come out in
Yeah.
March, right? They're
Yeah.
coming out in
Yeah.
March.
Although no specific date yet, but I think they're working on that. The dates and I'm working on that. But I believe March it will drop. It will be dropping on March. Yeah.
All right. Well, definitely looking forward to that. So when you think about the music industry, right? And you already talked about how you spend a lot of money. There were some things that you didn't know or that, you went ahead and did yourself. But when you just think about the industry, excuse me, as a whole, what other lesson have you learned?
Okay. I've learned to be unique, be authentic, and keep moving. Have a personal brand. Have a focus. Don't look yourself as a low esteem. Like, don't see yourself as someone that, I don't know how to put it, like someone that is like won't make it. You know what he wants. You know how to capture people mindset. Like, you know how the market, what is working in the market industry, like in the music industry. You know what is working. So you have to dive in more. You learn. You know, like you understand what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
that is it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it goes back to, like I said, build, learn, build, connect, and learn. So, you need to spend the time learning. You need to connect with other people because we can't do this alone. We have to do it in community and in the collective. And we're building something. You talked about personal brand. We're building, right? And then with you, you're wanting to reach the world. You have such a healthy desire for us to like be on one accord, for us to show love, for us to, love one another and live in peace. And so, yeah, that's community. That's the collective. So you create in solitude, like you're by
Okay.
yourself when you're creating. What's your creative space like? And walk us through how your process.
Okay. Music is a spirit, honestly. I don't know if you agree with me. It's an inspiration.
Yes.
So when it comes, sometimes like today, I won't be bragging. Like today, I've gotten like two good tracks, like that just came into me. Like I just feel it. I start vibing. I start writing it down. I start calling the sound that is coming to my eardrum. So sometimes I take my phone to record it and keep it so I will not forget it because it comes and go. That is how it works. So I think my create space, it needs something very quiet. I don't like this distraction. So that is how it works. So it comes anytime. It can come tomorrow morning, it can come this night. Mostly when I'm sometimes some messages will be coming, can be receiving some messages spiritually, then I can be writing, I can be figuring it out. I can use my keyboard to trace the notes and start, singing.
Yeah, so it's a spiritual experience, as
Yeah,
you mentioned, is
yeah, yeah,
and being alone with yourself to fully tap into it. And that's how we are able to hear from
yeah,
God, from spirit, from the universe when
yeah.
we are in solitude. So that definitely makes sense. So I mentioned this, the podcast I created for women of color. So my audience the intended audience is women of color. Now, many people all around the world listen or, the podcast or watch it on YouTube, right? So
Wow.
if you could go back and give young, famous one piece of advice, what would it be? And that advice is something that I want it to speak to those people who are watching or listening. But what advice would you give your young self?
All right. Life is like an echo.
Mm.
Whatever you put to it gives you back. So one thing I would say, keep focusing, keep elevating yourself with what is working. You know, a parable man says it's wrong to keep doing something over and over and again and you still see the same result. So you have to elevate, you have to divert and try another way out. So this life is a challenge. It's a challenge, it's a battlefield. So you keep moving, navigating things, learning what is going on, learning the willing tools. Okay. So that's what I have to say. Keep focused, be positive, be energetic, and feel good. Don't allow anyone to discourage you. At last, you're gonna see yourself at the top. That's what I can say.
So learning again, I heard that again, which is a theme throughout our conversation, taking that time to learn. I even think about for myself, like pausing as well, like pause, just stop what you're doing, slow down from what you're doing, pull back and just be right in solitude so that you're able to hear, and then also take that time to learn. So that is something that a lot of people, I think they need to start embracing and incorporating
Okay.
it into their habits, right? Pausing, taking the time to learn. So I want to kind
Yeah.
of shift a little bit. So fast
Okay.
forward 5 years from now, what's your vision? What do you see yourself doing?
I see myself at the top, financial freedom. I see myself coaching young youths. I see myself helping a lot of people. I know it's not easy, but it's possible. And that is the task I gave myself from now to 5 years.
No, I love that, especially helping the youth, right? What do you what helping them in what way?
Like empower them with knowledge. Like
Mhm.
I would like number one, I would like to have humanitarian place here, um no, should I say, people that don't have parents to help them out, people that need to do songs, like want to find themselves in the music career. I could even have a school, music school too, in different areas, in spirituality too. I can also be educating, helping them a lot in different aspects of life.
That is so important though to help, right? And I love that you said they may not have parents or whatnot. So, sometimes we take for granted that people that children need us more, right? They need us for so many different reasons, and they may not have a mother or a father. They may not have either one. So many different circumstances. So I love that you do plan to mentor, to give back and bring them along. So we
Yeah.
kind of touched on this as far as music. So music is the key to soulful reflection. I believe you said this. Can you break it
Yeah.
down for us? Break this down, the soulful reflection. Break it down for us.
All right. All right. Okay. Music is the key to soulful reflection. Yeah, I say this. No, music is a spirit, as I said earlier on the previous question. When it hits you, sometimes I'll be passing by. When they hit the reggae songs, maybe some other kind of reggae styles, reggae music, it hits my souls. Like I can't even stay. I'll be dancing. When it touches you, you feel the rhythm. You feel irate. You understand, man? So you feel the vibes. So I believe it works with your soul. It works with your inner mind. Even if you don't like reggae, like some people have their own different genre of song. But when you feel sad, you can play a song. It touches you. It gives you that motivation. It gives you that happiness. You know, when you feel boring, you play a song, you have your own choice of the song, your own genre. You play it, it gives that vibes you want. Okay, with that, I don't think with that music, there's nothing like life. For me, that music, the life will be boring. Music is life. Music is spiritual.
Mm. I mean, I'm like feeling it as you're talking about it because for me, I remember there was a time when I had to like, in order to remember something, I had to connect it to a song. And
Okay.
so, right? Because it's like, oh, wait, what was going on? Okay, well, what song? Oh, yeah, I remember now. So it is definitely a soul reflection. I mean, I love that you say that and remind
Yeah.
us because music it transcends so much, right? It does. And you know, when you hear that song, like your song, it's like, oh my God. Like for me, I love Frankie Beverly and Mays and oh my
Okay.
Frankie, rest in peace, rest in power. He died recently, but his song, anytime his song would come on the radio, it made my day. Like if I got in the car and the first song that I heard was his, one of the first few, my day was made. It didn't matter what happened the rest of the day. I was floating because I so loved his music, so connected to his music, and music does that to us. So thank you for sharing
All
your
right.
gift of music with us. But all right, so a couple more questions. What can fans do to support your movement? How can we help you?
Okay. Financially, I need a support. Honestly, mostly financially. You know, the music business is changing every day. Like what the knowledge I have last year and what is going on last year is not what is coming up right now. Okay, like you need to have 1,000 of stream before it can be calculated to be a royalty. I know each song that is being streamed is just 0.002 or 3 per each stream. So you calculate it is very, very tough for independent artists. So for my own challenges for now, honestly, I don't have a home studio. I do go out to pay for services, pay for time. I pay the producers. So I would think first of all, financial aspects. Secondly, is just advice because I'm a human too. I also need an advice too. Okay. So that is just two support I need for now. The rest of it, I can handle it.
And so I have all your social. So we have all the ways to connect with you, your website, you know, you're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the things. So we would definitely share
Yeah.
that in the show notes. So my final
Yeah.
question to you, if you had just 30 seconds to speak to the world, what would you say?
If I have a 30 seconds to speak to the world, what will I say?
Yes.
I would say I love everyone regardless of their belief. Number one. Number two, there should be transparency. Number three, they should focus.
All right. Well, famous Endurance Friday. Obong
Okay.
Priesto, thank you so much for lending your voice on Women of Color in Intimate Conversation and enjoy the rest of your day.
I appreciate. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.